I have discovered that all human evil comes from this, man's being unable to sit still in a room. Men never do evil so completely and cheerfully as when they do it from religious conviction. In faith there is enough light for those who want to believe and enough shadows to blind those who don't. Belief is a wise wager. Granted that faith cannot be proved, what harm will come to you if you gamble on its truth and it proves false? If you gain all. If you lose nothing. Wager then, without hesitation, that he exists. Human beings must be known to be loved, but divine beings must be loved to be known. He that takes truth for his guide and duty for his end may safely trust to God's providence to lead him aright. I have made this letter longer than usual, only because I have not had the time to make it shorter. Imagination disposes of everything. It creates beauty, justice, and happiness, which are everything in this world. Nothing is so intolerable to man as being fully at rest, without a passion, without business, without entertainment, without care. Habit is a second nature that destroys the first. But what is nature? Why is habit not natural? I am very much afraid that nature itself is only a first habit, just as habit is a second nature. There are only two kinds of men: the righteous who think they are sinners, and the sinners who think they are righteous. Truth is so obscure in these times and falsehood so established that unless we love the truth, we cannot know it. It is the heart which perceives God and not the reason. That is what faith is. God perceived by the heart, not by the reason. As men are not able to fight against death, misery, ignorance, they have taken it into their heads, in order to be happy, not to think of them at all. There are two kinds of people one can call reasonable: those who serve God with all their heart because they know Him, and those who seek Him with all their heart because they do not know Him. If we examine our thoughts, we shall find them always occupied with the past and the future. Since we cannot know all that there is to be known about anything, we ought to know a little about everything. People are generally better persuaded by the reasons which they have themselves discovered than by those which have come into the mind of others. The supreme function of reason is to show man that some things are beyond reason. The finite is annihilated in the presence of the infinite and becomes a pure nothing. So our spirit before God, so our justice before divine justice. The last proceeding of reason is to recognize that there is an infinity of things which are beyond it. There is nothing so conformable to reason as this disavowal of reason. We run carelessly to the precipice after we have put something before us to prevent us seeing it. We are only falsehood, duplicity, contradiction. We both conceal and disguise ourselves from ourselves. The greatness of man is great in that he knows himself to be wretched. A tree does not know itself to be wretched. Nature is an infinite sphere of which the center is everywhere and the circumference nowhere. Can anything be stupider than that a man has the right to kill me because he lives on the other side of a river and his ruler has a quarrel with mine, though I have not quarreled with him? One must know oneself. If this does not serve to discover truth, it at least serves as a rule of life, and there is nothing better. The last act is bloody, however pleasant all the rest of the play is. A little earth is thrown at last upon our head, and that is the end forever. Words differently arranged have a different meaning, and meanings differently arranged have different effects. Time heals griefs and quarrels, for we change and are no longer the same persons. Neither the offender nor the offended are any more themselves. The strength of a man's virtue should not be measured by his special exertions, but by his habitual acts. People are usually more convinced by reasons they discovered themselves than by those found by others. Justice and power must be brought together so that whatever is just may be powerful and whatever is powerful may be just. Truly, it is an evil to be full of faults, but it is a still greater evil to be full of them and to be unwilling to recognize them, since that is to add the further fault of a voluntary illusion. The immortality of the soul is a matter which is of so great consequence to us and which touches us so profoundly that we must have lost all feeling to be indifferent about it. If our condition were truly happy, we would not seek diversion from it in order to make ourselves happy. Faith indeed tells what the senses do not tell, but not the contrary of what they see. It is above them and not contrary to them.